Jesus came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. On the Sabbath, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astounded. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What is this wisdom that has been given to him? What deeds of power are being done by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary and brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Then Jesus said to them, "Prophets are not without honor, except in their hometown, and among their own kin, and in their own house." And he could do no deed of power there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and cured them. And he was amazed at their unbelief. Then he went about among the villages teaching. He called the 12 and began to send them out, 2 by 2, and gave them authority over the unclean spirits. He ordered them to take nothing for their journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. He said to them, "Wherever you enter a house, stay there until you leave the place. If any place will not welcome you and they refuse to hear you, as you leave, shake off the dust that is on your feet as a testimony against them." So they went out and proclaimed that all should repent. They cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and cured them. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Christ.
In the name of our loving, liberating, and life-giving God, amen. Please be seated. What is home to you? If you reflect upon this question, or perhaps bring this question with you to coffee hour after the service, I'm sure you will find that you all have very different responses. It's not a simple question either. The concept of home can be very complicated and challenging for many. Growing up in a military town, I had many friends who proudly stated that they were military brats, so home for them was often hard to pinpoint. But to be clear, the question that I'm asking is not where is home, but rather, what is home to you? What does home look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? We'll return to that. Now, considering the current housing market, I think we will continue to see complicated dynamics when it comes to housing. According to a recent real estate report, normal spring increases in sales activity, coupled with relaxing COVID-19 policies, created a very busy spring real estate market as buyer demand continued largely unabated in the face of rising home prices and mortgage rates. Existing home sellers and new construction activity continue to remain below levels necessary to bring the market back into balance, pointing to a busy and competitive buyer market in the coming months. What does this mean for the general public? Well, we've seen a lot of this manifest even in our own community. Between myself and a few other parishioners being pushed out of their rental homes, landlords are selling their properties and causing some disturbances that are affecting the rental market not just here, but everywhere. What happens when we do not have a place to call home? A place to come home to remove our shoes and to decompress. For many, a house used to mean safety or monetary gain, and I believe for many of the generations present here, it meant that you were on the path to some degree of prosperity. But as the economy changes and trends in society change, we now see the road is now replete with fiscal thorns and subprime lending rocks and other challenges. So many have lost their houses or places where they live. So many in our nation do not have a place to call home. This idea of homelessness not only affects persons caught in the circuitous mortgage lending web, but it is also relevant to our military personnel. Service members from all branches are now routinely returning from service only to find that there really is no home in which to lie down. It is not uncommon to hear stories of veterans who are having difficulty finding jobs and making ends meet. They risk their lives in service to our country, yet the service members are rewarded with hard knocks and hard times pertaining to their own home stability. Do they have somewhere that they can call home? And what about the implications of what will happen when the national eviction moratorium ends this month? Beyond the legal headaches and hang-ups, this poses a real threat and a challenge to us as people who follow Christ. There will be countless homeless individuals who will lose housing and end up on the streets. Everyone deserves a place to call home, a place to belong. In our gospel today, we hear of Jesus attending the synagogue in his hometown of Nazareth, and he is followed by his disciples. Jesus is teaching, and people are astounded. What he says not only amazes them, but the deeds of power by his hand are just as stunning. Yet Jesus endures verbal abuse. And this is not as a result of his healing someone, but it is because of who he is. This issue is not the identity of Jesus as the Son of Man or Lord of the Sabbath. What is problematic is his family. Jesus' biological family and their lack of status cause trouble. Jesus is too plain, too ordinary, just a carpenter. While elsewhere he is the healer, the restorer, but here he is just the carpenter. The same hands that touched Simon's mother-in-law and cooled her fever in Capernaum are the same hands used for merely maneuvering wood and tools at home. Jesus is no big shot in Nazareth. Jesus is just a guy at home. Jesus, however, does not disregard this reaction. Instead, in usual Jesus fashion, he engages the discourse. Jesus acquiesces and admits that honor comes from everyone and from everywhere, except from one where one would expect it, from their own people. On the contrary, Jesus does not allow the absence of a welcome home parade to stop him. Instead of discontinuing his deeds of power, he pays it forward. Jesus calls the 12 and gives them the authority to do what he has done. They are now to cure the possessed and heal the sick. Jesus uses this moment of cognitive and social dissonance to empower others to seek the health and welfare of people in his community. Whereas the people who knew Jesus the best appreciated him the least. His pain became the catalyst for enabling the disciples to seek greater good and to enact the will of God's love in the world. So back to the topic of home and housing, or simply a place of belonging. What would it look like if all of God's children felt like they had a place to call home, where they could simply belong? On today, the holiday many people celebrate as Independence Day, I invite you to consider what this day means to you. And also, what might it look like for others who don't share your narrative, your experiences, or your story in this world? You see, I think as followers of Christ, we are called to think beyond ourselves and our immediate communities. Yes, we reach out to our immediate neighbors, but we don't disregard or cast away those neighbors in another zip code, beyond our borders, or in another country. I think the New Colossus, the poem by Emma Lazarus, which is the inscription at the base of the Statue of Liberty, says it well. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. If today is truly about America, then let it be about embracing the diversity that makes up our country. Let it be a place that all people from all walks of life recognize that this is a place that calls them home. Speaking from my perspective as someone who immigrated here when I was a baby, I still feel like I will never be American enough for many people, and I will forever get the "where are you really from?" question. On this Independence Day, I invite you to consider what liberation for all children of God might look like. Not just the few who are blessed to have been born here, but all of God's children. God doesn't care about zip codes or country of origin or immigration status. I hope that we all remember that our work as disciples of Jesus is to find ways to invite others to find home in God, a place where we all belong. Amen.
Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. You have heard the word, now the work begins. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.